Welcome to this evening's showing of the Philipsburg College Game Day, live here in the sunny, but yet chilly, Philipsburg, Osceola, Philipsburg.
Penn State takes on Michigan today. They haven't beat them in 9 years. See if they can do it today.
We got Texas and Missouri today. It should be a good game. See if Texas comes out on top.
Oklahoma versus Kansas. Let's see if Kansas can upset the Sooners. Okay, today's key games are the Texas Longhorns versus Missouri. Number 2, Alabama versus Mississippi. Number 3, Penn State take on the Michigan Wolverines. 4, Oklahoma versus 16, Kansas. USC at Washington State. Texas Tech, Texas A&M. Oklahoma State, Baylor. Georgia, Vanderbilt. Ohio State, Michigan State. LSU, South Carolina. Utah, Colorado State. Virginia Tech, Boston College. North Carolina, Virginia. South Florida, Syracuse, Wake Forest, Maryland. 23, Pitt at Navy. California, Arizona. Okay, so, let's get to with today's upset picks. Trevor, John?
I like to see Michigan State over number 12, Ohio State today. Javon Ringer is a very good running back. He leads the nation in rushing yards and points scored. I believe that Michigan State will go into Columbus and beat the Buckeyes today.
For me, I think it's Michigan over Penn State. Michigan's beat them 9 years straight. I think that has to play some factor today for the Nittany Lions. It's played at Happy Valley, but I think Michigan comes to play against a tough team, so I think Michigan has a good chance of upsetting the Nittany Lions today.
Okay, who is going to be today's Pontiac Game Changers?
I believe that quarterback for Texas will be Colt McCoy. He has a 79% completion. He's out of his 165 passes, he has completed 131 of them for 1,557 yards. He has 17 touchdowns and only 3 picks. Also, he has 4 rushing touchdowns.
I think it's going to be Colt McCoy too. He came to play last week against Oklahoma, and I think he comes again to play tonight against Missouri. I also think that Sam McGuffey, running back from Michigan, YouTube sensation, has a big game today against the Nittany Lions in Happy Valley.
I also believe that Javon Ringer, running back from Michigan State, will be a big factor in their game today. He has 247 rushes for a little over 1,100 yards. He has 14 touchdowns, and once again, he leads the NCAA in yards and points scored.
What about Chase Daniels?
He sucks.
Everybody's forgetting about Chase Daniels.
Chase Daniels.
Okay, let's get with today's picks. Number 25, California at Arizona.
I believe that number 25, California, will win today at Arizona.
I gotta pick Arizona in this one. I think really Tiama has a big game for the Wildcats today and upsets the Cal Bears.
Okay, number 23, Pitt at Navy.
I think Pitt will lose this game. Navy is a very strong football team this year, and I just think they are going to beat Pitt.
I disagree. I think Pitt wins this one. They came off a big upset a week ago against South Florida in Florida. I think Bill Stahl and LeSean McCoy have big games today for the Panthers, and they beat Navy mid-ship.
Number 21, Wake Forest at Maryland.
I believe in this game, Maryland wins this game because Wake Forest. Maryland is a very good football team this year, and Wake Forest has had too many tests in a row, and I just think Maryland will come out on top of it.
I think Wake Forest is going to win this one. Maryland is probably one of the most inconsistent teams in the ACC. they beat Clemson, a team that was ranked at the time, and then lose 31-0 to Virginia. I don't see how you can do that. I think Riley Skinner has a huge game today for Wake Forest.
19 South Florida versus Syracuse.
I think this is a rebound win for South Florida. They lost last week to Pitt, and this week they take on Syracuse, who is not that good this year. They should win pretty big.
Yeah, I also see South Florida winning this one big. I wouldn't call it a rebound win, but it's a big win for them. Syracuse is way down this year. Matt Grothe has a huge game for the Bulls.
Okay, number 18, North Carolina at Virginia.
I believe North Carolina wins this one pretty easily. Ryan Houston had a big game last week against Notre Dame, and I think that they'll continue to have success this week.
Yeah, I also have to pick North Carolina in this one. Cameron Sexton had a huge game last week against the Irish. They really proved something to me last week, proved they're a good team. I think they beat Virginia in this one.
Number 17, Virginia Tech at Boston College.
I see Boston College winning this one. Virginia Tech, they're good, but they don't have it this year. The ACC is having a real down year. I see Boston College coming out on top.
I have to disagree. I think Virginia Tech wins this one. I think after those first couple weeks of the season, I think they've really put it together and put together a good football program. I mean, they beat North Carolina, a team that's contending for the ACC title. I think that they beat Boston College today.
Number 14, Utah versus Colorado State.
I believe that Utah wins this one pretty big. Utah should finish out this season undefeated, and they should have a real good shot at going to a good BCS bowl.
Yeah, I see Utah winning too. BYU lost on Thursday night to TCU. I think this gives Utah a good chance of going out and making a BCS bowl this year.
Number 13, LSU at South Carolina.
I see LSU winning this one. Also, a rebound win for them. Last week at Florida, they got beat pretty badly. But I see their quarterback Lee coming out and leading them to a big game today.
I have to pick South Carolina in this one. I think they've really put together a good football program. And LSU got killed last week by Florida. I think South Carolina comes out in this one.
Number 12, Ohio State at 20, Michigan State.
Once again, I see Michigan State winning this one. I see Javon Ringer having a big game. I think it'll be a high-scoring game with Beanie Wells and Terrell Pryor scoring a lot, but I see Michigan State coming out on top.
I see Ohio State winning this one. I think Pryor has a big game today for the Buckeyes. He's been putting up good numbers the past couple weeks, and I think he really steps up today against Michigan State. Beanie Wells has a huge game for the Buckeyes. I think he'll have over 200 yards in this one. I think the linebacking core of Ohio State with Laurinaitis shuts down Javon Ringer. He has a big game, but it's not enough for the Spartans.
Number 10, Georgia versus number 22, Vanderbilt. Should be a good game.
It should be a very good game in the SEC. I see Georgia coming back and winning this one. Vanderbilt had a tough loss last week, and I see Noshawn Moreno doing pretty good this week and leading them to a win.
Georgia wins this one. I think they win it pretty easily. Vanderbilt couldn't get anything going offensively last week against Mississippi State, a weak team in the SEC. Georgia, Noshawn Moreno, Matthew Stafford, A.J. Green, Muhammad Massaquoi, too much for that Vanderbilt defense.